1-1 was a racehorse and 2-2 was 1-2. 1-1-1 one race and 2-2 1-1-2. Hey, 1-1-2, that's this episode. And away we go. Alright. Shout out to Renee, thanks for tuning in. How long do we have, Adam Mensch?
10 seconds, Benny.
Copy that.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Kia ora, my friends. How do you do? I, Benny Ward, am here in the garden for another cold open of the Pod of Thunder and Gardening Monday Morning Live. This is MML 112, and it's an action-packed, jam-packed, Benny-filled episode this week. We'll give live shout-outs to anyone who joins us live, spreading love and giving flowers. We'll take a look back at the week that was. We'll take a look at the week ahead. We'll do live gardening. Today we are brewing liquid fertiliser. We'll have Joke of the Week. We will have Strawberry Watch. And we'll play What's in the Bag. All those things and many more are coming up right here, right now, on Monday Morning Live. Let's kick off with a look back at the week that was. What a week. Farley knows we had enough rain. Boy, a lot of rain. It was a great market yesterday at the Melbourne Farmers Market. You know, we're there at the AMP Showgrounds every Sunday. Rain or shine, or more rain or flooding, or more rain or shine. Every Sunday morning at the AMP Showgrounds for the Melbourne Farmers Market. Big thank you to everybody that came along to support the Farmers Market yesterday. All the stall holders, all the customers. Because after all, the people need their market. And we put on a doozy of a market yesterday. What else happened in the week that was? The school holidays have kicked off with a bang. The school closed early on Friday due to the flooding. Shout out to Lee, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, a bit of flooding around last week, a lot of rain, so the school closed early and now we've got school holidays. Shout out to all the parents that are spending some quality time with their kids at home these holidays. On the farm, now I've mentioned about the process of planting the strawberries at Golden Mile Produce. Now, shout out to my good friends Stephen and Sally, and thank you to Sharon for helping us last week with some clipping. See, the plants, the strawberry plants, they're grown in soil, propagated in soil, in dirt, and we want to grow them hydroponically. So there's a bit of a process, and that's why we've been doing Strawberry Watch, to sort of document the work that goes in behind the scenes. So because they are grown in the dirt and the soil, we need to first clip off any unwanted roots or leaves. We need to clean all the gullies, clean the grow houses to get everything nice and ready. And then we need to wash the plants. So we dip them in water, we spray them down with a hose, and then we dip them in a sanitizer slash miticide mix. And if we bring down the Benetron 5000, I'll be able to show you that when we wash the plants, they go from looking like this to looking like this. And then they're ready to plant. That's what we'll be doing in the week ahead. Speaking of the week ahead this week could also be called This Week in Music History, because one of my favourite bands of all time are starting their reunion tour, Oasis. Now, Liam and Noel and the boys have been busy doing rehearsals. That may or may not be the reason why they haven't sent me my tickets yet, but trust me, I'm here, I'm ready to rock to one of the greatest bands of all time. Speaking of greatest bands of all time, the drummer from one of the greatest bands of all time, Ringo Starr, is celebrating a birthday this week. And so's the great Dan Aykroyd. So some good birthdays coming up in the week ahead. One of the things that my family are particularly excited about the week ahead, we're having a new addition to the family. We're getting a new kitten. And even though we miss Sammy and love Sammy every day, it's going to be great to have another little fluffy ball of energy around. So that's the week it was, that's the week ahead. Let's do live gardening. Now, we've been doing the grow off. And what I've done is I've planted on all of the seedlings. Now, remember that we're growing 3 different types of seedlings. We're growing one herb, one herb, one flower, and one New Zealand native. So we're growing thyme, we're growing alyssum, and we're growing corfire. Now today we're starting the next phase, which is the liquid feeding phase. Now points were allocated originally for the propagation phase. Next week, right here on the show, we will allocate points for the planting on phase. The biggest and most vibrant looking alyssum will gain a point for the respective grower. The biggest and best looking thyme seedling will gain a point, and the biggest co-fi will gain a point. So points allocated next week, but today let's do liquid feeding. And we're doing so with the help of the latest addition to the Benny's range, the 6100 series liquid fertilizer brewing bucket. Available in the gift shop, why not buy two? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use, for Adam Mench's seedlings, and here they are here, you can probably see them on the screen. If you can't see them on the screen on Facebook, all the more reason to tune in to the glorious widescreen version of Monday Morning Live on my YouTube channel, which is now known as Monday Morning Live. What I'm going to do is I'm going to brew some liquid fertilizer from our compost. Now I do a lot of composting here. I've gone through the process that we use. I can do it again in a future episode if you wish. But basically, we throw a mix of green material, so lawn clippings, clippings from around the garden, and brown material, so newspaper, shredded paper, dried leaves, and we throw in some vegetable scraps. But remember, we don't put in any of the allium family, so no onion, no shallots, no leeks, because worms don't like it. And we also don't use any citrus because worms don't like those either. So the compost bin basically becomes one glorious worm farm. And what I've done is I'm going to introduce you to a new technique that I've used a few times. Now, I've filled this Benny 6100 series liquid feeding brewing bucket with rainwater that we collected, because Farley knows there's been enough of that. I've 3/4 filled it with rainwater, and what I've done is a little bit of prep before the show. I took an old sock and I filled it with compost from my compost bin. I've tied it at the top, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in to the bucket, the 6100 series Benny's liquid fertilizer brewing bucket, and I'm going to leave it in there for a couple of days. All the goodness from the compost is going to seep out into the water, then we're going to be able to use the water in the watering can and apply it to Adam Mench's. Hang on, it's tricky. We're going to apply that liquid fertilizer once it's brewed to Adam Mench's seedlings. Right, what else can we do? We've done the week that was, we've done the week ahead, we've done our live gardening. Let's have a drink of water. Never underestimate the value of water, even when it's teeming from the sky for days on end. Let's play What's in the Bag. Yep, we've got a few minutes left. What's in the bag? Somebody else has joined us. Oh no, it says slow connection. Slow connection to my heart. Sounds like an 80s song. Right, let's play What's in the Bag. This week's What's in the Bag comes to you from my good friend Annette. Now she has what's known as Snail House Bakery. They had a stall yesterday at the Marlborough Farmers Market, and so I'm going to try for the first time a slice of her pizza bread. Let's try it now. It's nice. It's not too thick, not too doughy. Really nice pizza bread. Thank you to Annette from Snail House Bakery. Do you want to think of pizza? It makes me wonder. Obviously there's a joke coming. Joke of the week, here it is. How do you fix a broken pizza? With tomato paste. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Not my best one. Can I do better than that? Probably not. Oh, hang on, here's one. Why does the mushroom always get invited to pizza parties? Because he's such a fun guy. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. 2 jokes of the week. Not particularly good. Actually, that reminds me again. What's the difference between a good pizza joke and a bad pizza joke? The delivery. We are rolling with Monday Morning Live. 3 jokes of the week. 3 for the price of 1. Plus another 2. Right, I think that's about all the time we have. I want to thank everybody who came to the Marlborough Farmers Market yesterday. I want to thank you for all the kind words of wisdom and support during these difficult times. I'm just happy that everybody had a safe and dry time over the last week with a lot of rain, a lot of flooding. I want to thank everybody who joins me on my YouTube channel, which is now known as Monday Morning Live. While you're there, why not subscribe if you're on board? Because I'm Benny Ward. You can see me every Sunday morning at the Marlborough Farmers Market. You can see me every Monday morning here on the Pod of Thunder and Gardening Monday Morning Live. And I will see you next time in the garden, because diamonds are forever, and so is Monday Morning Live.
Nice.
I added the wink to the catchphrase there.
I like it.
Thanks, Adam.
And we're clear. Another fine show, Benny.
Thanks, Adam. You too.
I do have a question, though.
What's that?
It's something you ask someone when you need some information. But that's not important right now. I need to know who is the unyielding.
You want to know who the higher power is? You want to know the identity of the one known as the unyielding? Well, I'll tell you. In fact, I'll tell the world. Soon.